Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really hard look at mandatory Social Security, specifically the National Insurance Board of Trinidad and Tobago, the NIBTT.
That's right.
We want to understand how this crucial system, the NIS, actually works. I mean, it provides 23 different benefits, covers about half the nation,
Yeah, roughly half.
and perhaps most importantly, why its financial future is, well, facing a pretty serious risk.
And I think the first thing to really grasp is the core idea behind it all. The NIS isn't like your personal bank account. It's built on this principle of social solidarity, basically pooling everyone's contributions together.
To redistribute income, essentially.
Exactly. It moves money, from higher earners to lower earners, and critically, from the living to support the dependents of those who've passed away. It's a collective safety net.
And that idea, that collective approach, it didn't just pop up overnight. The NIBTT itself was set up back in 1972.
Yeah, after like a decade of groundwork, consultations, the International Labor Organization, the ILO, was heavily involved.
Focusing on that core promise, income replacement when you need it.
And that consultative history, you could really see it reflected in how the NIBTT is governed, even today.
How so?
Well, it's managed by what they call a tripartite board of directors. It's quite unique, actually.
Tripartite, meaning three parts.
Precisely. By law, it has to have equal representation from the government, from the business sector, and from the labor movement.
Okay, on the surface, that sounds really balanced. Everyone gets a say.
It does sound ideal.
But thinking practically, especially when times get tough like now, does that model actually help make difficult decisions? Or does it maybe lead to a bit of gridlock?
Well, that's the fascinating tension, isn't it? The sources we looked at suggest it can lean towards gridlock.
Ah.
Well, it's great for building consensus on maybe less controversial stuff. It creates real problems when the board has to juggle its main job, keeping the fund healthy long term.
It's fiduciary duty.
Exactly, that duty. Juggling that against the immediate, often competing interests of those three groups. Like, who wants to be the one to say, hey, we need to raise contributions?
Nobody wants to volunteer for that, I imagine.
Precisely. So unpopular, but maybe necessary, reforms get stalled.
Okay, so let's unpack the fallout from that kind of inaction. This is where the structural crisis really hits home, right? The numbers are quite something. Fiscal year 2024, NIBTT collected, what, $4.75 billion in contributions?
Correct. $4.75 billion in belly.
But it paid out $6.5 billion in benefits.
$6.5 billion out. That's a massive gap.
That's a $1.75 billion operational deficit for 1 year.
That is the absolute crucial nugget right there. And
Yeah.
think about what that means. To cover that $1.75 billion gap.
They had to dip into savings.
Not just savings. They had to withdraw almost $2 billion, $1.96 billion, to be exact, from their main asset base. That's the $27 billion fund.
Wow. So it's not living off investment returns anymore.
No, not even close. It's actively eating to its core principle. That's just not sustainable long term.
And the forecasts. They paint a pretty grim picture if things don't change.
Stark is the word. The official 8 actuarial review, it projects that without major reforms, the entire national insurance fund
The whole $27 billion.
could be completely gone, depleted, by the financial year 2039-40.
Just over 15 years away. What's driving that cliff edge?
It's demographics mostly.
Yeah.
An aging population. Look at the ratio of contributors, working people paying in, to pensioners drawing benefits.
Okay.
Back in 2010, it was about 4.3 workers for every pensioner.
Sounds reasonably healthy.
Yeah, but it's projected to plummet. By 2060, the forecast is just 1.3 workers for every pensioner.
1.3. So basically, one worker supporting almost one retiree,
Pretty much. It's a massive shift as who carries the burden. That demographic time bomb is ticking.
which means the pressure on today's workers. It's immense. So let's bring this down to earth. What does this mandatory system actually mean for someone looking at their payslip right now?
Well, the first thing for any employee is understanding. This isn't optional. Participation is required by law. Act 32.01 specifically.
Right. It comes off your pay whether you like it or not.
Exactly. These contributions, they cover the NIS benefits, but also things like the health surcharge. It's a fixed statutory deduction.
And how is the cost split?
It's shared. Roughly speaking, the employer pays about 2/3 of the total NIS cost, and the employee pays the remaining 1/3 from their salary. It's designed as a shared responsibility.
So when you see that NIS deduction on your payslip, it's part of that mandatory collective investment.
Correct. It's not just an administrative thing, although NIBTT has tried to tighten things up administratively.
Yeah, I saw they set up investigations and controls department, recovered some money from ineligible claims.
They did about $100 recovered recently.
Yeah.
But that's, tinkering around the edges.
Small change compared to the $1.75 billion deficit.
Precisely. The core challenge isn't really admin. It's systemic. It's about policy needing to catch up with those big demographic shifts.
So ensuring the system survives for, our kids and grandkids, it's going to take more than better paperwork.
Absolutely. It demands real political will to make some tough structural choices.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about increasing those contribution rates?
Or maybe raising the retirement age, things people really don't like to hear.
Exactly.
Difficult choices. Which brings us back to that founding idea. This whole system started 50 years ago with government, business, and labor finding common ground. So here's something for you, the listener, to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Can that original spirit of social solidarity, that consensus, actually be reignited today, especially under this kind of financial pressure, to save the NIS for the future?